Rob Sand took 2 days to respond to this, so obviously he was conflicted, which is fine. I don't really give a shit about politicians or government officials responding because, it's not genuine. They put it through a filter, or it's not even their original shit. Usually it's like somebody wrote it up from, it's like, okay, this is what you should say, so whatever, who gives a fuck. But something that I found really revealing about this is and I guess Rob Sand likes to paint himself as being like I am the middle guy, right? I'm the middleman. I'm not bipartisan. I'm for all of Iowa. Even though all of my policies and opinions are Democratic and I'm running for the Democratic Party, it's for all of Iowa, right? But I just want to read, and we're not going to read the entire Rob Sand thing because it's really long. Actually, maybe we will. Fuck it, we will. We got time, right? We got all the time in the world. So this is Rob Sand's response. Posted on social media about 2 days after their arrest of Ian Roberts. I understand why people are worried, scared, and upset about the situation with Dr. Ian Roberts. There are conversations to be had on how current policies are being enforced, the degree to which masked agents putting people in unmarked vehicles undermines trust in law enforcement and spreads fear, or about having targets like the young man in West Liberty, a construction worker, former star soccer player on his high school team who was picked up and deported despite no criminal record, paying taxes, working to contribute to his community. Now, look, to compare... To even put those two people in the same playing field is so dishonest. So dishonest. Dr. Ian Roberts took twice, from what I'm now finding out, almost twice the normal salary of a superintendent that was funded with taxpayer dollars, who was clearly a DEI plant. And you're going to compare that to someone who was like a construction worker, paid taxes, and was actually helped his community. Not just like some bureaucrat, actually helped his community. You're really going to put those two people in the same plane? That's ridiculous on its face, but whatever. Let's keep it. That's not surprising, right? So let's just continue. Yeah, at the same time, if reported facts are accurate, this final deportation order for Dr. Roberts was issued under the previous president's administration. Ooh, mic drop. Oh, take that, lefties. It wasn't even Trump. It was your boy Biden. Oh, mic drop. I spent 7 years. The immigration case filing should be released to private, additional certainty and clarity. I spent 7 years as a prosecutor working with law enforcement to hold lawbreakers accountable. Our laws matter, so do facts. So I don't feel it's responsible to weigh in on matters where many important facts are still unknown. I think everything's pretty much known at this point. But since Friday, I've been alarmed by government figures in both parties being so quick to leap to conclusions or ignored known facts to rile up their bases. That's why it took 2 days before responding, because he didn't want to jump to conclusions. We have to follow the facts and the law, and right now a lot is still unclear in the case. I will consider monitoring the situation as we learn more. He isn't monitoring shit. I think it's important now more than ever to bring the temperature down, and we all have that responsibility. Okay, so that's Rob Sand's response, which a lot of Democrats were not happy with because, rightfully, and to an extent, rightfully so. When you see ICE detaining or going into Home Depot and rounding people up, or the kid that he mentioned from West Liberty, yeah, I don't think that's a great use of taxpayer dollars, to say the least. Despite me disagreeing with that whole thing. But he still is sucking the law's dick in a sense, right? He's still saying, "Oh, well, I still need to go. We still need it. We still need law and order." That's what he's doing, right? Because he can't fucking he can't do it. Rob Sand is basically a conservative light, to be honest. Yeah, he's when you see him talk, he's basically like a preacher. You basically look at him, he's like a fucking He's basically, yeah, he's just basically a preacher. Like he's like every time you see the one of those fucking interviews, it's like, yeah, he's a pastor essentially. Like, and he has all the old people in there in his rooms, and they're all like, oh yeah, he wants change. He wants to spend so much more money than everybody else. Okay, so anyways, I thought that statement was interesting, especially when you compare it to Kim Reynolds' statement, which is fairly similar. Not surprising. Governor Reynolds issues statement regarding arrest of Des Moines Public School Superintendent. Governor Reynolds today issued the following statement, blah, blah, blah. The arrest on Friday in Des Moines Public Schools Superintendent Ian Roberts was shocking, particularly his attempt to evade authorities and the loaded gun, knife, and large sum of cash found in his vehicle. Oh my God, that's another hilarious thing too. Is like I've seen all the leftists posting about this. Is like they're like he had 1% of his salary on him, $3,000. It's like the percentage fallacy, right? Like they'll they'll kill like 100,000 people and they'll be like, oh, it was only like less than 1% of civilization. It's like, yeah, it was 100,000 people. Still a lot of money, and not that I care. I mean, fine, whatever. You can have that on him. It's kind of weird that he has that in cash, though. It's like, it's weirder if he had him, than if he had it in Bitcoin, right? But whatever. The investigation is still underway, so I won't comment on details of the case at this time, of course. But I want to be clear, we are a nation of laws that must be enforced. Those who believe immigration laws are optional are dangerously wrong. When laws are ignored or when people are led to believe there will be no consequences, our communities are at risk. Iowans won't stand for that. We must enforce the law every time to protect our families and our future. And now, here's the thing. And it's looking like a win at this point because there's so much support around him. I really hope not. I mean, as awful as either candidate would be for governor, I really fucking hope Rob Sand doesn't become governor. I mean, if he legalized cannabis, that'd probably be the best thing that would come out of that. But who knows if he can even do that? This is something that look, if Rob Sand gets elected, he's just going to be, if and when, in my opinion, I mean, he probably is. He's going to be no different. The only difference between him and Kim Reynolds is going to be that he spends more money. And that's going to affect everybody negatively. That's when you're going to see price. Iowa has, and of course, Rob Sand loves to just talk about how the GDP has gone down. It's like, yeah, we also have the most affordable living conditions in the entire country. You know what's going to happen to that when Rob Sand becomes governor? Maybe president someday. When when he becomes governor, that's all going to get way more expensive. I'm not saying that Kim Reynolds has done a great job of that either. I mean, prices have definitely gone up, and she hasn't really done a lot to curb that either. I was really critical with her on the public school voucher program, the private school voucher program, whatever, where she was giving money to private schools. I'm really critical of that. I think her monopolizing ethanol in the state of Iowa was really unethical. And I mean, those things both negatively impacted the economy and raised, inflated the dollar essentially, right? Raised taxes. Rob Sand is not going to do anything different. And, I think Democrats are rightfully really pissed about this. They're like his original response, which is it was really pandery. It was like him basically just sucking the government's dick and being like, all right, you have to follow the rules. You must follow the rules. Even if the rules are wrong, you must follow them. It's like, dude, the whole point of you being an elected official is to change the rules, ideally.